Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. If you have depression or any mental illness, do not watch this movie. Don't get me wrong, I thought this movie was great, but even the first 5 minutes of the film can be triggering. I mean, who steals a sign, honestly? Joker was really, really, really good.
Really?
Yes, really.
Really, really?
Yes, really, really.
Really, really, really?
Yes, already, I'm good!
This whole film was a complete origin story about our most favorite supervillain in the comic book universe, and everything about it was amazing. The story, the cinematography, the music, the performances, I literally don't even know where to start right now.
One small thing.
Yeah.
When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker?
Fun fact though, I was actually going to audition to be an extra for this movie because they were filming a couple towns away from where I live. Sadly, I didn't get the job and I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think I just applied for the role and they just never responded. But you know, it's whatever. It's cool. It's cool. It's freaking cool! Now when I first saw the trailer for Joker and who was going to be playing Joker, I was pretty excited. But when I actually saw the movie, I got a lot more than what I expected. Joaquin Phoenix nailed this role. After watching the first 5 minutes of the film, I had already fallen in love with him. He was a good Joker, from the way he moves to the way he laughs. He even stopped eating just to look all skinny and malnourished. That's no CGI, he was dedicated. Phoenix did such a good job playing the role of Joker that some people are actually afraid of him now. I genuinely think that if he doesn't win an Academy Award for this, he'll kill you. The story was so captivating too, because not only do you know who the main character is and where it's taking place, but it's being told through his perspective. We see everything through the eyes of Arthur Fleck, who later becomes Joker. And given that he is mentally ill, is exactly what makes it interesting. One important note is that the film was solely inspired by The Killing Joke, which was a famous Batman graphic novel that later became an animated movie in 2016. And you'll see why that's so important in a second. The one thing that stood out to me and pretty much everyone is when Arthur finds out that Thomas Wayne might be his real father. But it's later revealed that he was adopted by his mother Penny Fleck, and she actually let his past boyfriend abuse Arthur when he was little, which causes his mental illness in the first place. That whole subplot to me seemed like a good twist that was debunked way too fast. If Thomas Wayne really was Arthur's father, that would mean the Joker and Batman are actually brothers. And it would make a lot of sense too. I mean, think about it, how come Batman never kills the Joker? At the end of the animated movie, Batman tries to reason with him instead of just killing him. It's as if he cares about him, like he's family or something. Batman also laughs at the end of this movie and it made me uncomfortable. Alright, stop it! It's not cool when you do it. It's just weird. But seriously, the fact that Thomas Wayne isn't Arthur's real father seemed like a missed opportunity. But there are some theories suggesting that Thomas Wayne is the real father, and he hired some people just to cover it all up. And you know what? I am willing to stick with that theory to the very end. Thomas Wayne, you are the father! Fan theories aside, the real question is whether or not the story is even real in the first place. Remember, this man has a mental condition, and with that, it actually causes him to have psychosis. Basically, everything we see in this movie is either real or all in his imagination. One scene, for example, was when Arthur and Penny were watching their favorite show live with Murray Franklin, who was played by Robert De Niro. Arthur fantasizes being in the audience and actually meeting Murray live on stage. Murray hugs Arthur and tells him he wishes he had a son like him. And then we come back to Arthur and Penny back at home and learn that it was just a fantasy, which was pretty obvious, but that whole sequence was meant to give you a small taste of how active his imagination is. We later meet Arthur's neighbor Sophie, who's played by Zazie Beetz, and in case you don't recognize her, she actually played Domino from Deadpool 2 as well, which I thought was pretty cool. In the film, we first see that Arthur and Sophie fall into a relationship with each other. We see them kissing, eating together, supporting each other, but then it's later revealed that none of that happened and it was all in Arthur's head the whole time. Sophie was just a stranger to Arthur from the very beginning. And that really sucks too. Can you imagine if the Joker and Domino were actually a couple? I'd ship it. At the end of the film, after all this madness and destruction, we see Arthur at the psychiatric ward in prison sitting with the psychiatrist, and he is genuinely laughing as if the whole thing was just a joke that was playing in his mind. Then the movie ends with him leaving the ward and walking down the hallway with blood on the bottom of his shoes, which shows that Arthur killed the psychiatrist apparently. And then he just runs down the hall like a child. So now you see how psychosis was used as a framing device throughout the entire film, because now we're left thinking whether everything we just saw was a real true story, or just a sick fantasy from the mind of a madman. The Joker has always been crazy, but throughout most of his story arcs in the comics and Batman movies, his origin story has always been open-ended as well. In The Killing Joke, the graphic novel famously ends with the implications that the Joker's past is actually multiple choice. And if that were the case, then my choice would be this story. It's a good visual narrative of a lonely man who's mentally oppressed and tries to stay on the moral high ground, but with everyone treating him so poorly, he slowly descends deeper and deeper into madness and eventually becomes the legendary psycho that we all know and love. This one line basically sums up his character and possibly the entire theme of the film, and it will also haunt me for the rest of my days.
What do you get?
I don't think so.
When you cross
I think
a
we're
mentally ill
done with you,
loner
George.
with
That's
a
it.
society that abandons him and treats him like trash,
Call the police,
I'll
Chief.
tell you what you get.
Call the police.
Get what you deserve.
Seriously though, I don't even think you need to be a big Batman fan to watch this film. You can either view this as a villainous origin story, or an epic psychological case study where you see an innocent man transform into this malicious persona. Whether or not the story is real is up to you guys, but that's how you know the director did a good job. They literally left you with an open-ended conclusion that really makes you think about reality versus fantasy. In the end, Joker is a great psychological thriller, and a great standalone film with the right balance of drama, action, suspense, and a little bit of comedy. Like I said in the beginning, if you have depression or any mental illness, this movie is definitely not for you. But if you're looking for a true masterpiece, this one will really put a smile on your face.
If you just smile.
Aw, dude, did you even wash your hands? But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I had a lot of fun making it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on all my other social media, and hit that little bell if you want to see more of my good stuff. And as always, I hope you guys have a great day today, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until next time, always remember the name, T-Lander.